Good morning, friends. Let's make some adjustments here. Good morning. Welcome to Journey Home Meditation's Morning Sit. I'm Michael, and I'm happy to be here today. Yeah. And that's just about as truthful as I can get in the moment. I could not be happier. That's something that a friend shared with me. There was a teacher they had of some sort. I think he was a Buddhist teacher, a Buddhist monk. And whenever asked how he was doing, his answer was always, "I could not be better." And I think as the story goes, as the parable, I find your truth in the story, but as the story goes, this monk's teacher had died recently, and somebody asked, "Hey, how are you doing?" And the monk said, "Oh, I could not be better." And they were shocked. Well, how do you mean you could not be better? Didn't you just lose your teacher? And the monk's response was, "Well, the most honest thing I can say in any moment is I could not be better than I am right now. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, this is the best I can be. So if that means that I am fraught with sadness, then that's the best I can be. If I am incapacitated with pain and suffering, then that's the best I can be right now. If I am overjoyed and doing cartwheels, that's the best I can be right now." So I could not be better is a recognition to sit with who you are and what you are in this moment and to love it. And I just think that it's such a wonderful teaching. I share that a lot because it was impactful for me. It was impactful for me to remember that choice is maybe not always part of the equation, right? We have this insistence, especially in the West and America, that we have this insistence that free choice. I have choice. I have free will. That's a big one. The assumption of free will. And we feel empowered by this notion of choice, but I question it. I question what that means, because if I am composed of everything that's ever happened to me, to the world, to everything in this moment, then to be here right now, I could not have made a different choice. Right? So if that's the case, then to recognize the wholeness of this moment, maybe it's okay to recognize there was no choice. There was the illusion of choice. But everything that I've done, I had to do to be here, so that when I'm met with a decision, I can start to inspect how much of that is my own thoughts arguing with themselves, and how much of that decision has actually already been made. I know what the right choice is. I know the right step forward. I know the next thing to do on a deeper level. I know it. And to trust that process. And that's a different conversation, though. It's a bigger conversation. And of course, anytime we would like to, we can poke holes in anybody's language, right? We can insist upon resistance so far as we want. I guess the ironic thing is to say that's our choice. That's our choice to do that. But I do like the idea of choice. I do like the idea of whether I want coconut milk or almond milk in my chai, or whether I want spicy food or mild food for my lunch. The illusion of choice. But that's neither here nor there. It's not even where my thought processes were this morning. In fact, I want to keep this morning sit a bit more brief. And I read this poem by Wendell Berry pretty often. I think I've read it 2 or 3 times throughout the last 3 years of doing this morning program with everyone. Because I feel like this poem, it really captures a lot of what it feels like to me to do this work, what this work is. And that's the beautiful thing about poetry, is that it can capture in just a few succinct ways an entire experience of feeling. You can wrap up a whole big emotions, and not just a single emotion, but a cacophony of emotions. This cornucopia of emotions. Let's go through all of the C words in the thesaurus here for the things that we can fit into just a few lines of poetry. And I've talked about poetry before a lot on this program, because I think that poetry is a voice of divinity. I think that poetry is a way that we cut out the fluff. Cut out the fluff and just really see something at its essence, to break it down to what's essential. And that is a part of this work. That's a part of this practice, is to get to the essence of who we are, who I am, who you are, and what we are doing, co-creating this amazing, confusing, frustrating, enlightening, and beautiful world all around us. And I think poetry is the great language for that. And so, enough about poetry. Let's read some poetry. So this is coming from Wendell Berry's book, A Timbered Choir. It's the Sabbath poems from 1979 to 1997. So Wendell Berry would write these on the Sabbath every day, every week on the Sabbath. And so in 1979, the year I was born, he penned this poem. And I can't help but wonder if it was around this time of year. Because the way that the poem just feels, it feels like a spring poem. It feels like this moment of pause within the burst of energy that exists around us. And I happen to be born this time of year in 1979. So maybe that's why this poem has stuck out to me so much. And I've read it a few times here and other places. But this is Wendell Berry. I go among trees and sit still. All my stirring becomes quiet around me like circles on water. My tasks lie in their places where I left them, asleep like cattle. Then what is afraid of me comes and lives a while in my sight. What it fears in me leaves me, and the fear of me leaves it. It sings, and I hear its song. Then what I am afraid of comes. I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings, and I hear its song. After days of labor, mute in my consternations, I hear my song at last, and I sing it. As we sing, the day turns, the trees move. Those two stanzas in the middle talking about what is afraid of me, what's afraid of me comes, and then loses its fear of me. And then I can see it. I can see the thing and it can see me. And then what I am afraid of comes and I lose my fear. That, to me, captures exactly what all of this work that we do is. All of the breath work, all of the meditation, all of the contemplation, and the sussing out our emotional confusions and getting beyond believing our thoughts, um, unpatterning ourselves from the trauma responses that we've learned to survive, and recognizing that we can be grateful for even the things that were difficult, and even the things that were ugly, and even the things that were terrifying. And when we can start to step into a space of gratitude, it takes the fear out. And I recognize that spiritual bypassing is a thing that people do, that we all do, trying to utilize these functions as a way to get around my fear and around my pain. Forgiveness is not a detour from our pain. It's a direct route. It's a direct route. We have to be willing to sit with that pain, but it also means that we have to be capable of sitting with that pain. Um, and that requires some elements to be put into place, right? We need to feel safe to be able to sit with our pain. We need to have coping mechanisms and skills how to skillfully navigate that pain. And we need to have an ability to move through and process that pain as we experience it. If we don't have those things, this is what we call trauma. We re-traumatize ourselves, attempting to sit with that pain. So learning these skill sets of how to recognize what is real and what is my story, that comes from sitting with the breath. That comes from dispelling our internal myth about our own pain, whatever your myth is about your pain. One easy example of that is physical pain. Physical pain is a really easy example because it's visceral, it's real, it's there. Um, you can't deny it, right? If you do, one of my favorite sayings about this is, if we don't hear the body when it whispers, we'll be forced to listen to it scream. If we don't hear the body when it whispers, we'll be forced to listen to it scream. Wow. that's the experience of chronic pain in a nutshell right there. In a nutshell. What a strange thing to say, in a nutshell. But there, I said it. It's in a nutshell, folks. Oh, I love being embarrassing. Um, but the the useful tool to recognize with physical pain is the mythology of our pain and the reality of our pain are two different things, right? For instance, I have some pain happening to my body in my ankle right now. There's pain in my ankle. Pain is there. It's been there for a while. Um, Now, when that pain becomes very loud and it screams, uh, I will use the defining language of I am in so much pain. I am in pain. I am in pain. There it is. The mythology is I am identifying as being only in pain. That's what I am. Who are you? In pain. It's like the dad joke. Oh, nice to meet you. In pain, I'm dad. you know. But the mythology of I am fully encapsulated as pain, I am the embodiment of pain, is the belief that I may have at that moment internally, right? we may have that belief that I am in pain, but if you utilize the practice, if you sit in a way that's comfortable and begin to breathe, consciously breathing in through the nose, filling the belly, and release. And you do that a couple times. Let's take one more of those. Breathe in through the nose and release. Now, the pain is in my ankle. Wherever you feel pain in your body, focus on the pain that you feel in your body. Find that place of soreness, stuckness, that place that makes you believe that you are in pain, that you are defined as pain. Your existence is that of pain. Go to that place with your attention. Breathing in and out. Feel how that pain starts to isolate in that specific part of your body. You're aware that your ankle has pain or your back has pain. Become aware of that. Not I am, but my ankle. There is pain in my ankle. There is pain in my wrist. There is pain in my back. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Now, lifting one or both hands, palms facing upward. Open your palms and begin to focus on the feeling of the center of the palm, either or both hands, doesn't matter. Feel the center of the palm of your hand. Really bring that a focus to feeling the center of the palm of your hand. I'm going to guess that your hand may feel a bit cold in the center of the palm of your hand, just in the center. And maybe it feels a bit wet. There's a bit of a cool breeze, very gently landing in the center of the palm of your hand, like holding a cold drop of water. Do you feel that? What is it that you do feel in the center of the palm of your hand? Now, I feel the cold, wet sensation in the center of the palm of my hand, but I would not say I am cold and wet because I'm not. I am not wet. My body is dry and I'm not really that cold. The center of the palm of my hand is. So the mythology of my pain is I am in pain, but that doesn't apply to other feelings and sensations. So let's retract that and let's bring in the honest experience of there's pain in my ankle. And there's pain in my back. There's pain in my wrist. Wherever your pain is, there is pain there. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is really coming into honesty. So maybe there is pain in my memories of childhood. There is pain in my relationships. There is pain in my memories of school. Right? There's pain there. And now that we can recognize through the practice where that pain lives, we can get a little more precise. There is pain in my fear of abandonment. There is pain in my fear of rejection. Right? So you can sit with that. You can work with that and you can figure out all of the little ways that fear of rejection is actually informing your decisions now, where you thought you had free choice, but now you're making decisions based upon your fear of rejection. You weren't aware of that before necessarily. You just knew you had pain. You had emotional pain somewhere. Isolating where it is. And I don't mean isolating as in separating. I mean just honing in on it. Really getting clear. That's it. That's it. getting clear. Getting clear on what the pain is, where the pain is. This is going to allow us to sit with that pain in a healthier and safer way. Okay, I do have pain around rejection. Now I can attach all of my story. Well, there was this time in third grade, there was this time in fifth grade, there was all of the schools I moved to throughout my life, there was all of the friendships that I thought I had that I didn't actually have, all those things. We can attach our stories, but we don't even have to. You can just say, hey, I have a history of fear and pain of rejection. The pain of my rejection that I've experienced has instilled in me a fear of rejection, right? And then you do the work. And then what you fear leaves you, right? The thing that you fear in that leaves the rejection. The thing that you fear in your pain can actually leave that pain. And then it's just pain. And you can sit with that and work with that. So that's why I love that poem, and that's why I love this practice. But I have to go. I have a full day today, and I am looking forward to all of the things that that brings. So I hope this practice helped you this morning, taking a few conscious breaths and sitting with yourself just a bit. I love you all very much, and it's nothing personal. It's just simply that I love you. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. You can reach out to me. I'm Michael, and my email address is journeyhomemeditation@gmail.com. If you like some of the subject matter or you want to explore it some more, send us a message. You can also engage through Spotify a bit. You can engage on Facebook, and you can utilize the comment section. Leaving comments on the videos really helps other people to connect with you and the way that you're experiencing these ideas as well. So I would like to invite everyone to engage a bit more with this morning practice, so that we can start developing a Sangha, start developing a group of us together who can explore new ideas and new ways of understanding old ideas. Okay. Hariom.